Hey everyone, Brad here today from the OFAH Heritage Center. Today's lesson is all about aquatic mustelids. Mustelids are members of the weasel family. In today's lesson we'll aim to answer 3 questions all about mustelids. How do we identify mustelid? Where do they live? And what do they eat? How do we identify mustelids? Mustelids are members of the weasel family, and they include martens, fishers, mink, wolverines, badgers, and otters. Today we'll be focusing on aquatic mustelids, the otter and the mink. Aquatic means that these creatures spend most of the time in the water. Mustelids look quite different from one another, but they do have some things in common. They're fairly small animals. They have long bodies and short legs. They have short skulls with round ears, and they have thick fur. They're typically found alone, they're active at night, and they're active year-round, meaning they don't hibernate. They all have scent glands that produce a musky scent. Mustelids are carnivores, which means they eat meat, and they have strong teeth to consume tough animal meat. They have between 28 to 40 teeth in their mouth, and they have well-developed canine teeth to help rip through food. Did you know that we also have canine teeth? They're the sharp ones at the side of our mouth, right here. As I mentioned, there are 2 types of aquatic mustelid in Ontario, the river otter and the mink. River otters are very smooth creatures, and they have a thick layer of fat under their skin, making them adapted to their aquatic lifestyle. They measure between 90 to 130 centimeters from nose to tail, and they weigh 4.5 to 14 kilograms. The otter's coat is short, dense, rich, and glossy. The upper parts are dark brown or even black when wet, and the lower parts are paler in color. The lower jaw and the throat are white. Minks have weasel-like bodies with sharply pointed faces and small ears. Minks measure between 45 to 75 centimeters in length from nose to tail, and they weigh between 1/2 and 1.25 kilograms. The mink's fur is solid, rich, dark brown color, except for a patch of white on the chin. Its coat is made up of long, coarse outer guard hairs and dense, oily underfur that helps to protect it while in the water. Where do they live? Mustelids are found across Ontario. Different species of mustelids are adapted to different lifestyles. Otters are aquatic, which means they spend most of their lives in the water. Minks are semi-aquatic, which means they spend their time both in the water and on land. Mink prefer areas near bodies of water, like lakes, streams, and ponds. They're mainly found in forested habitat. They live in dens or burrows, which are spaces under the ground or under piled up objects which create their home. Dens sometimes are made by the mink, and sometimes they're taken over from other animals. Often their dens or burrows are found along or near the banks of water, under logs or stumps, or within hollow spaces in and around rocks. They den in regions dominated by coniferous trees. Coniferous trees are trees or shrubs that grow cones and have needles instead of leaves, such as spruce, pine, or cedar. If you celebrate Christmas, you might observe the holiday by decorating a coniferous tree with lights and ornaments. Otters are found close to water, preferring lakes, marshes, and streams. You'll never catch an otter building its home. They'll use the abandoned homes known as lodges of beavers. You can learn more about beavers and their lodges by watching our virtual lesson on beavers. Otters will also take over the riverbank dens of foxes, rabbits, and other creatures. Otter holes, as they're called, are small underground dens where otters escape danger, take shelter, or raise their young. Otters also thrive outside of the water and can sometimes be seen playing in the snow or sliding down muddy hills. Playing helps them to strengthen their social connections and to practice hunting skills. River otters are also often seen floating on their backs, sometimes holding hands with another otter or with a pup on their stomach. Next time you're swimming, try to test out to see if you can be like an otter. See if you can float on your back. How long can you do it for? What do they eat? Mustelids are carnivores, which means they're adapted to eat a diet of meat. They consume other mammals, birds, amphibians and reptiles, fish, crayfish, mollusks, and insects. Even though they're carnivores, some mustelids have been seen feeding on plants, fruits, and eggs. Minks will eat almost any living thing they can overpower, including animals bigger than themselves. In their diet are fish, crayfish, clams, earthworms, insects, mice, frogs, muskrats, moles, rabbits, and even birds. Minks hunt by exploring holes in logs, stumps, rock piles, and along shorelines. In searching for food, they can swim up to 30 meters across, and they can dive to depths of 5 meters. That's as tall as a house. Once, while I was on a fishing trip, I left a few fish in the boat for a few moments just to go explore the forest nearby. When I came back, there was a mink in the boat eating our fish. They sure can be sneaky. Otters feed on fish, amphibians, crayfish, turtles, snakes, waterfowl, muskrats, and more. Their diet changes with the seasons, and some vegetation, or plant material, are eaten in the summer. Otters hunt alone, but sometimes in groups, working together. They must be successful quite often in order to get enough food to survive. Each otter can eat between 2.5 to 4 kilograms of food per day. That's the same weight as a bowling ball. Can you imagine eating that much food? You'd get so full. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like this video and comment below. Don't forget to check out the resources section on our webpage. There you'll find free printable resource material like mini lessons and activity pages to follow up the virtual lessons. And please subscribe to stay connected as we learn together outside of the classroom.